Hello friends, and welcome to the Gesundheit Kitchen. My name is Hans Rufert, and I'm always looking for ways to kind of sneak in more protein. I've always you've heard me say it before if you've seen any of my videos, that I like to think of every ingredient as an opportunity. So when you're kind of putting together a meal, when you're thinking about what am I going to eat today, you're trying to find foods that are not only calories, which is just sort of a random number. You're looking for quality calories that are actually going to kind of stick to your bones and help you maintain that weight. As you know, when you have GI issues, gaining and maintaining weight can be a real struggle. So one of my go-tos, and I'm already kind of smirking thinking about this, because I love tinned seafood. And so many times people would be like, oh, you mean like sardines? And it's funny to me that for some reason that has always been a stigma, like you see in movies from the 80s and 90s. You'll see a hobo who's traveling in a boxcar eating sardines out of a can with some saltines, right? Which to me sounds like a great afternoon. But their tinned or canned seafood is kind of having a moment right now. There's this resurgence in this type of food. So I want to kind of expand beyond the idea of sardines on crackers, which again I'm a big fan of, by making a Niçoise salad today. But let's first kind of talk about what I mean by tinned or canned seafood. Again, the first thing that comes to mind is sardines, and sardines you can get them with or without the bones. Now, again, if you like seafood but you're a little squeamish about bones, the great thing about when they are packing the sardines, they're actually steaming them, and usually under high pressure, to where the bones kind of disappear. I mean, yes, they're still there, but they kind of turn into just soft. I mean, almost buttery. So it's not like something you have to, pardon the pun, but fish out after you've eaten it. They just disappear, and there's a lot of calcium in those bones. So eating the tinned seafood with the bones intact is actually a good thing nutritionally as far as having that extra bit of calcium. But you can buy them where it'll say skinless and boneless, and usually that's a little higher price, but I'm talking 50 cents at most. But sardines are probably the most popular, but you can also get salmon, sprats, which are basically like baby sardines, anchovies, which many of you know is that ultra salty condiment that people put into either Caesar dressing or on pizza, but you can also get them that are not that salty. Smoked mackerel, and again, I say smoked, it's not so smoky that it's, you know, like an ashtray. It just has that little light smoked, and it's the flavor is just enough to kind of make it a little interesting. So all of these things I love. And then of course the other one we think about is tuna, and tuna is you know, it's funny, some people say they don't eat fish but they eat a tuna salad sandwich. And that's kind of my point, is that I think there's a stigma sometimes around seafood that is not deserved. And so since they are so popular right now and there's so many varieties, I really wanted to kind of capitalize on that. If you're on the fence about tinned seafood, I want you to give them a try. So again, so many different varieties. Today I'm going to focus on sprats. And again, sprats are these little baby sardines, and they are, and again, I hate to even talk about guts and bones and whatever, but just so we're on the same page, there are no guts in these. They have been cleaned, and these are headless, but they do have the bones in them. But again, you're not going to notice them. They just simply disappear. So a very classic Mediterranean style salad is called a Niçoise, salad Niçoise, and it usually has a handful of different components that are sort of classic to a Niçoise salad. It's going to be some kind of olives or capers, sun-dried tomatoes, artichoke hearts. So here I've got some nice artichoke hearts. And a lot of these things you can find also in the canned vegetable section, or if you have a market that has an olive bar, which is where I got these, they're in a really nice olive oil. Some of these are stuffed with garlic cloves. So on their own, these are delicious. So I have artichoke hearts, I have the olives. Now, if you have watched this show before, we did some lacto-fermented vegetables a handful of episodes ago. So these are green beans that are already fermented, meaning that the good bacteria, the lactobacillus, has kind of already pre-digested them for us, so they're going to be easier to digest, and they're full of good probiotics. So again, these are the lacto-fermented green beans, but if you don't have those, you can just use regular green beans. some hard-boiled egg. And again, the great thing about a salad like this, if you don't like eggs or you have problems eating eggs, just customize it, make it your own. But this is sort of the classic arrangement here. And then we got some tomatoes. And notice I'm kind of piling them in groups. That's the Niçoise salad way. It's almost like if you ever had a chopped salad or a Cobb salad where you'll have like these little, little sections, each have their own little zip code of ingredients. The kind of fun thing about that is that you're not, sometimes if I'm eating something where it's all mixed up, I just kind of feel like I'm eating the same thing over and over and over again. This way you can kind of move from ingredient to ingredient to ingredient to kind of keep it mentally a little refreshing. But to me, the center star of this is going to be these sprats. And as you can see, they are whole little fishes. And I'm going to go straight into the middle. But as you eat this, you can kind of just bust them up a little bit. And the bones, like I said, they're in there, and even the little tail bones, they just disappear. There's not anything where you're going to have to sit there and feel like there's a bone in your tooth or anything. So those on the top. The olive oil that's in here is really good as well. So I'm going to put some of that on the salad. And then I made just a very, very simple vinaigrette. We've done vinaigrettes on the shows before too. It's kind of equal parts. Oil, vinegar, I got a little garlic, I've got some spices, a little fennel seed in there, a little salt and pepper, and that goes on a little bit of everything here. And this is such a customizable, easy salad. And all of these ingredients you can have on hand for other dishes. So this is kind of one of those, we've talked about the idea of you cook once, you prepare once, and you eat 2 or 3 or 4 times. Having these kind of things on hand, all of these can be utilized in other dishes. I'm going to put a little more fennel seed and cracked pepper, a little smoked salt in here too. So that is a complete meal. You've got protein from not only the sprats, but also from the eggs. I typically, we talked about sardines on crackers. I love to have a couple of crackers on here. And just to show you, if we can zoom in here, we're going to show you. When you eat this on a cracker, I'm going to use the back of the fork to kind of smush this down. There are no spiky bones in here that you really have to worry about, right? All of this just kind of turns into a bit of a paste. So I love having a couple crackers like this with my salad for crunch. And that little bit of kind of smokiness, oiliness of the fish, it's so good. You've got your omega-3s, your omega-6s, there's protein. It's just such a good ingredient, especially for those that are having GI issues, whether you have a stomach or a partial stomach, or maybe you're going through treatment. These things are so convenient. You pop the top, you eat them. I cannot think of a better convenient food. And the other great thing is there's so many options out there. You can even get some that have olives and tomatoes already chopped up in with the fish. So literally all you're doing is popping the top and putting them on a cracker or on a piece of bread. Just a great option. I don't want you to be afraid of eating these things. If you like any kind of seafood, give it a try. And again, just kind of kick the idea of the hobo on the boxcar out of your mind, or embrace that and enjoy a sardine on a saltine, because that's a pretty good thing. We did another episode. Actually, I was in Ecuador, and we did an Ecuadorian kind of avocado and tuna salad. So if you're looking for another idea, like an alternate to a traditional tuna salad, check out that episode. It's just, again, another easy assembled salad, avocados, some tuna, another great option for 10 seafood. That is it for today. Thanks so much for joining us. Again, check out the previous episodes. We got the one on lacto-fermented green beans, the one on the avocado tuna salad. Take care of yourselves, or if you're the caregiver, take care of your loved one, and we'll see you next time. Thanks so much.